StereoKit is for C# developers, especially those that don't have a lot of mixed reality experience. I really designed StereoKit to be very easy to learn. So like I always imagine, like, what if I was teaching this to students? Like, what would they think of this API? How difficult would it be for them to learn? But at the same time, it's also a very powerful API as well. So while it's easy to learn, it's also very expressive. So the idea is, like, you know, if you're a C# developer from enterprise or like not from necessarily game development or anything like that, you can just dive into this, learn it really easily, and start getting productive really fast. So it also helps to, like, because of the iteration time that StereoKit has, it's very fast to like just go through, try things, experiment a little bit. So it's also really good for rapid prototyping and iterating on your designs. So hopefully StereoKit is for everybody, but I focus mostly on these people who don't necessarily have experience with mixed reality before.
Hey, everyone. So great to be here. Thank you so much for joining the workshop.
Just a second. I'm just bearing to take off this banner. Well, welcome, everybody. This is the session from Global XR Conference. We are here with Alan, and let me know if I'm producing this right. Alan Grinspoon.
Yep, you got it.
And we are going to just a second. Can take the banner off. And we are going to share this session with you about how to build a cloud-connected Metaverse app in 15 minutes or less. Just let me do 1 second here so I can share the images. Just a second, guys.
All good.
One second. Well, Alan, you can do the intro while I'm figure out on how to share this, but
sure thing.
Please present yourself what we're doing to do this.
Yeah, so thank you so much for this. So great to be here, and super excited about today's workshop. Today, we're going to talk about how you can build cloud-connected Metaverse apps in 15 minutes or less. It's going to be a really, really quick and easy way for you to build applications at scale. I'm Alon. I'm a founder of a company called Echo 3D based in New York. We are a cloud solution for 3D applications. We basically provide tools and network infrastructure for developers and companies who want to build games, AR/VR experiences, and any Metaverse apps. And today we're going to see how you can do that really, really easily. If I can just get the slides up and we can start.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'm going to share your presentation and I'm going to move out from your screen. So welcome again, and the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Perfect. So as I mentioned, we're Echo 3D, a cloud platform for 3D applications. We provide tools and network infrastructure for companies and developers to build applications at scale. I'm Milan, and my master's in computer science at Columbia University, specializing in AR, VR, and metaverse, and did my undergrad in computer science and electrical engineering, focusing on cloud. So a big believer in the intersection between cloud and the metaverse, and obviously a certified nerd. So this conference has a lot of people who kind of obviously know things about augmented reality, virtual reality, XR, but I still want to level set here and kind of define these terms together to make sure that everyone's in the audience understands what we mean when we say these terms. So virtual reality or VR is when everything around you is digital. You're fully immersed in a 3D environment, and everything you're seeing is basically a CGI, a computer-generated image projected into your eyes through some headset or glasses that occlude everything you're seeing. You're interacting with the world with some kind of headset and some controllers or your hands, as opposed to augmented reality or AR, in which we still see the real world. That world is being overlaid with 3D content. We're looking at the world through some optical see-through like glasses, or a camera see-through like a phone or a tablet. And again, the world is being overlaid with 3D content. A really good way to understand this is the amazing movie Space Jam, in which we have Michael Jordan being teleported into Looney Town. Everything around him is a cartoon. That's just such a good example of virtual reality, as opposed to what we have later in the movie, in which we have the Looney Tunes coming to us, interacting with Bill Murray and Michael Jordan in a real life court, kind of interacting with them as they play. So that's the biggest differentiation. VR is when we are kind of teleporting into Looney Town, and AR is when Looney Town is coming to us. Now, this is obviously a comical example. Another real-world example that you all probably know and love and probably tried as well is something like Pokemon Go, when you have people running around interacting with digital monsters that are not really there. That's a good example of augmented reality. Or something like Beat Saber, which is a good example of VR, when we basically have people slashing cubes based on the rhythm of the music. Now, another example for this is something that's really close to my heart, and the pun is definitely intended. This was my thesis project back at Columbia University, where we took CT and MRI scans, converted them into 3D, and then put them on the smart glasses for physicians to wear. The physician would see the patient's heart floating above them during surgery. It was an amazing, amazing use case that I got to scrub in. And what's interesting about this is that the physician basically got the 3D reference map of the patient's anatomy. But in order to achieve that, I had to do something I really, really hate, and that's waking up super early in the morning. I had to be at the hospital at like 5 a.m., take those 2D scans, convert them to 3D models, rebuild my application, deploy the glasses, and that took so much time and so much effort. And as a developer, I only wanted to do things. I wanted to manage 3D assets, and I wanted to deliver them to an AR device. And when talking to other developers who are building similar applications for retail and shopping and data visualization and gaming, they all said the same thing. There was no easy way to kind of manage and deliver 3D data. But if you think about it, this problem of delivering and kind of managing 3D data will solve for 2D, right? If you want to build a mobile app, you can use something like Firebase or Parse. If you want to build a web app, you can use something like Heroku. So we transitioned from kind of web to mobile to AR, VR, immersive, call it whatever. And the question has to be asked, who's going to build that cloud infrastructure specifically for 3D? And you've guessed it, that's what we do here at Echo 3D. We, again, provide tools and infrastructure to create 3D applications at scale. And today we're going to see how you can do that. Super, super easy and super straightforward. Now, before we move on, I just want to level set with some more terms. So the same way, again, you don't have to be a web developer to update a blog post. You can just drag and drop an image or video, and that appears in web and mobile. Or if I'm in New York and you're in California, and with both watching an episode on Netflix, we automatically get the best streaming experience. So we kind of translated these concepts to 3D, providing you with a way to manage and deliver 3D data and get the best 3D streaming experience. And what's interesting is this kind of bidirectional connection between data and location, right? You don't have that in 2D. You can't move an image or a video on a website. But you can definitely move an avatar across a game or a 3D couch across the room. That location needs to be updated on the cloud. So this is basically what we've built, this kind of content management system and delivery network that's really, really focused on 3D content and really allows you to build applications really, really fast. You can register for free on our website right now. And basically follow along how I'm going to show you how to kind of build applications using our platform. You can go to www.echo3d.co and register for free and basically start to build applications like I'm going to do right now. So once you register, you get access to our console. That's what you're seeing here on the left, and my phone is here on the right. It's super easy. When you register, you get an API key. That's your project key, your collection of 3D assets, and you can have multiple keys. These are basically multiple repositories of 3D content. And we have all these integrations for Unity and Unreal and Java and Swift and Flutter. And even recently, Niantic released this really cool SDK for augmented reality. We have an integration for that. Zapper is a really cool company that does kind of an AR SDK. We have an integration for that as well. But let's start with something simple. Let's add some content to the cloud. So I'm going to click Add to Cloud right here. And here I'm able to upload images, videos, 3D models. If you don't have 3D models, we also have a collection of over 75,000 assets that you can use for free right here. I'm going to upload this 3D model of the Empire State Building. Again, I mentioned we are based in New York. Uploading this file right now, what happens right now is that we take that 3D file, we convert it, we compress it, we post it on the cloud, we make sure it works in any environment, in any kind of networking location, and anywhere in the world. Once it's done and uploaded to the cloud, you'll be able to see that this file is kind of here. Originally, it was an OBJ file, but our system already converted to GOB, USDZ, whatever. It just means that it will work on any other platform. And now let's start. Let's see this in augmented reality. So I'm going to click this button right here. It will open a QR code. If you're watching this live, you can scan this right now. I'm going to do this with my phone right now, but if you want to, you can scan this as well. Scan the QR code. It redirects to a website. You don't have to install anything. And you'll be able to see this, this kind of 3D model on your phone right now in augmented reality. So let's check it out. So again, just scan the QR code, no installation needed. You're able to see the Empire State Building like I see it here on my phone. I'm going to click CNAR. Camera opens up. You move it around a little bit, and voila, the Empire State Building is right here. It's a bit big, so I'm going to pinch the screen to kind of resize it. But there you go. How cool is that? Super, super simple. Just upload it to the cloud, and then it appears on your phone super easily. So this is something that you can do in right now as well. So this is one example of something that we support. Another thing that I want to show you all is how you can basically see this 3D model on an image. So you can also scan this QR code right here. You have a bunch of kind of auto-generated AR experiences that are basically attached to every 3D asset that you create. So for example, here we have image recognition. I scan this QR code and use it as a real-world target for the Empire State Building to basically appear on the computer. How cool is that? So we did surface detection. We see the image recognition. Another example that we can kind of process is face recognition. You can scan, let me reset this for a sec. You can scan, rescan this thing, there we go. Perfect. So here, this experience basically uses a face recognition and basically uses my face as the target, as opposed to what we had earlier, that's like the floor or the image. So super, super simple stuff. But again, really easy for you to just drag and drop some asset and automatically have auto-generated WebAR experiences built in. How cool is that? I'm going to leave it right here if anyone still wants to scan it. But really, like I promised you, creating a Metaverse app in less than 15 minutes. We just drag and drop it, and it automatically just works automatically. Other stuff that we can do is basically to take our application to the next level is to basically take this data and stream it to other platforms. So let's see how that works. So I have Unity right here, which is a game engine a lot of developers love to use. And I'm going to stream the same 3D model I just streamed to my phone and to everyone's phones to this Unity environment. So if you want to build some VR game, all you have to do is just download our SDK, plug it into this example. And then if I plug in my key right here, press play, data will stream from the cloud to the game engine, very similar to what we saw earlier, that basically the 3D model streamed from the cloud to my phone. So let's see how that works. There you go. Model is being instantiated from the cloud into Unity. Think about this, your Unity build is super small. The assets don't actually persist in memory. They don't actually exist in the build. They come in from the cloud into your environment, which is a really, really powerful thing. That means your Unity builds, again, are super small. When you publish your app, it's going to be super small. And when you want to publish updates, you can do that from the cloud. So it's really, really a powerful tool for you to basically offload a lot of the content kind of management to the cloud. So there you go. You see a model. I textured it earlier, so like you see this kind of cool texture. But if I delete this, everything disappears. Nothing actually persists on memory. Let's delete this. And maybe even we can create a virtual city. I can add more models right here. Let me do that. basically just adding more content from my computer to the cloud, or again through our collection. Super simple stuff. Let's see how that works. There you go. And let me reload my key as well to delete any extra models I might have. Go. And then press play. Data will stream from the cloud to the game engine again, and you'll be able to see these models just instantiated in real time. So let's see how that works. And just position them as well. There you go. Suddenly we can have this kind of virtual metaverse city that we just built automatically just by putting in buildings. And if we want to update things in real time, for example, let's say we want to animate something, we can actually do that. So the cool thing about connecting your application to the cloud means that you can also post updates in real time. So I just did direction equals right, bam, it starts to rotate in real time. If I delete something, it will automatically disappear. If I add another model, it will automatically appear. So this is, again, the really kind of powerful thing that you can build when you're building applications, is you can control them remotely and you can publish them however you like. And then after they're published, you can also change the content. And that's what content management is all about. So check this out. So we have this kind of rotating building. We have this fox right here that just instantiated. And if we stop the application from playing, everything disappears. If I restart this, everything reinstates in the same place. So this is a really powerful tool that, again, allows you to basically manage your content directly. Okay, so we saw web on faces on the floor, on an image. We saw how you can use Unity. Another example that I want to show you is just native apps. So if you're building an app that's kind of installed on your phone, I'm going to show you right here. And since I already set how the kind of parameters are defined in the cloud, I want to show how cool it is that we can basically just recreate the same scene that we just had on Unity in our mobile device. So if I plug in the API key right here, this is our sample mobile app that you can download on the App Store or the Google Play Store. It will basically allow you to recreate the same scene. So check this out. So the camera kind of scans my floor. See, I'm going to tap the screen, and voila, here's the same fox you just saw earlier just appear here. And here's the same building we saw earlier also spinning. So the same state that we left it in Unity also appears here. How cool is that? If I say I want this to stop rotating, that kind of update will propagate to the mobile app, and you can see it's just stopped in real time. Really cool stuff. And again, a really powerful way to publish content to multiple platforms at the same time and have users basically get different content. Other things that you can do here. So we can actually manage data. So as you saw earlier, we can add some metadata to each of the applications, each of the content that we have here. We can manage our subscription, basically see how much bandwidth, storage, and API call you use. You can manage location. So what's cool about Echo is you can basically create location-based experiences. So for example, if I upload this building and I decide that I want this building to be in New York, and that means that if I build an application that when I open it, oops, I wrote York, let's do New York. If you build an application that you open it in New York, it's going to do one thing. And if you open it in San Francisco, instead of the Empire State Building, it's going to show you the Golden Gate Bridge. So this is basically another metadata that we associate assets with. What is the location? And then you can monitor that location in the console. You can see the distribution of servers, distribution of data, and distribution of users. You can secure your account. You can add people to your project. You can add users. You can add collaborators and work together on the assets. You can see insights on how your content is doing. So for example, we streamed the Empire State Building. We already see a spike in usage right here. And this is, again, like a really powerful tool to show you how you can basically monitor how people are using your application and using the content and see what's the most popular one. If you're building a really cool application for e-commerce, it might be the case that the green couch will sell better than the red couch, and you'll be able to see that through the data. You can monitor your users again. You can convert and compress assets. So for example, let's say I have an asset, but I know that it's going to be consumed in an area with lower connectivity. So I can say, I want this model poly reduced by 35%, to basically decimate the model a little bit to make it a little bit more palatable to devices. If you want to rescale the model, you can do that too. Super simple stuff. Another thing that you can do is you can kind of retexture assets and kind of change them in real time inside the console. So for example, if Christmas is coming up and you want to change the asset to be red, you can do that in the console, and that will propagate into your application. There's something, again, a really powerful tool that allows you to change your assets even after the app is published. You can also customize experiences. We saw the WebXR experience, so we can add buttons, we can add really cool kind of interactivity. Like, let's say you want to build an app for selling tickets to movies. So you can have like this kind of avatar right here that is really cool. And then you can add buttons and kind of prompt and your own logo on top of the WebAR experience. Really, really cool stuff. You can also edit assets inside Echo and kind of merge them together. So if I want to bring in this building, for example, and I want to bring it in with another building and kind of merge them together, I can do that inside the web console and then publish that as a new WebAR experience. You also have like a really, really cool tutorials here on how you can build applications. They're really open source examples of code that you can use for educational apps and things that use face filters and data visualization and training and art and really, really cool stuff. Here's one of our engineers who created the makeup tutorial. So there's really an insane amount of kind of really cool applications right here that you can just use and play around with, and all use Echo to stream data remotely. Another page is my favorite page, is the inspiration page. It is filled with amazing examples of how you can build applications for, again, all these different use cases. Like this one, we use Echo to build a menu visualizer, or here's an example of an NFT kind of gallery, or a murder mystery game, or a project that we did with Verizon. So there's so many really cool projects here around gaming that use or training or data visualization or e-commerce that use game engines like Unity and Unreal, or web or mobile. And I really recommend that you just kind of go through these to get inspired of what people are building and how people are using 3D content. You in your industry know best, but you really need to start thinking of how you can inject 3D content and augmented reality and virtual reality and metaverse applications into your industry. And there's so many really cool use cases, and we're kind of just limited by our imagination. Perfect. So let's recap a little bit. So what did we do so far? So we uploaded some content. We saw it in virtual reality and augmented reality and virtual reality in Unity. We're able to kind of upload stuff, really see it really, really easily, scan QR codes. We can also share assets. That's really, really easy to do. We saw how you can upload 3D models and tag them at the location. Another thing that I want to show you is how you can upload images, and those images will basically be converted to 3D stickers. So let's see that. So I'm just going to upload a 2D image, just a JPEG. It could be a trading card, it could be an NFT, or it could be just an image that you want to show. We have a few clients doing e-commerce, and they're basically sharing images on basically that you kind of try before you buy, and post them on the wall next to you. So let's do that. Another example of content that you can upload is videos. So let's upload a video as well. Perfect. So the content is being uploaded. Again, our system automatically converts, compresses, and kind of processes all this kind of data. So it'll work automatically everywhere. Here we have this kind of 3D model. Again, totally shareable and also viewable in augmented reality or through the web. So let's see how that works for a sec. Like, what does that mean to convert an image to a 3D sticker? There you go. So you have this kind of 3D sticker that you can automatically put on a wall next to you. Anything goes. And same with videos right here, just like playing inside the console automatically. Perfect. So we saw how you can upload content. Other resources that I really want to share is our documentation. This is the step-by-step guide of everything we did so far. It allows you to basically recreate everything I just did, uploaded content, see it in augmented reality. So definitely kind of check it out and see how you can build applications with it. Another cool resource is our GitHub page. This is, again, a collection of very cool free example code of how you can basically use all these different technologies with Echo 3D to build really cool, compelling applications. Let's see, I think we have a few here. Some whack-a-mole game or a Twitter visualizer, like really cool stuff that it's all open source. You can just take it, play around with it, and expand that into like a really cool 2D or 3D game. So really, really cool stuff that you can kind of play around with. Definitely explore our GitHub for that. Here's a really cool example for a WebGL app that it builds a 3D aquarium that you can control the fish remotely. Another cool resource is our Slack channel. If you have any questions of how to build applications, you can reach out to our team, or you can tweet us or send us an email. And that's really, really easy in order to kind of engage with our team and kind of understand how you can leverage the platform better. Perfect. So let's recap a little bit now that we've kind of seen the platform. Make sure, again, that you register for free at echo3d.co. Let's recap. So what did we see so far? So developers can choose any kind of client-side application. It could be Android, iOS, Unreal, web. We take care of everything. Content creators need no technical skills. We can just drag and drop assets, upload them to Echo. We convert and compress all of them without you doing anything technical. And then we build, store, and deliver those assets to different devices, like we saw here, like on a mobile app, on a web browser, or on a laptop with Unity installed. Developers obviously save time and money in building your applications. Content creators need no technical skills, and companies can scale their data all over the world really, really easily. We talked about use cases. We saw the inspiration phase. I filled with amazing use cases on augmented virtual reality. We talked about metaverse applications for healthcare and tourism and data visualization and games. And it's really, really inspiring to see what you can build in your industry with 3D and metaverse. A little bit more about us as a company. We won a bunch of awards. We are backed by some of the most amazing investors in the country, like Qualcomm Ventures and Verizon and Techstars and Convoy Ventures and Reimagine Ventures and Space Capital. And we're there for major tech events like CES and South by Southwest and AWE. So definitely come and say hello if you see our team there, and mention that you saw us at the Global XR community event. We love to say that we empower developers to build applications at scale on any platform. So it could be, and again, mobile, web. So start building. This is definitely the time to build. And I'm super excited to see what you're going to build with Echo 3D now that you know how you can kind of manage and distribute 3D content remotely. Make sure, again, that you register on our website, which is www.echo3d.co. Really, really easy. As you saw, we were able to deploy content really, really easily just by drag and drop, and it just works automatically. Perfect. Thank you so much. If there's any questions, happy to answer them. If not, that's fine too. But definitely check us out. And my email is on the right-hand corner if you want to reach out and say hello. But thank you. This was great.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Alan, for your presentation. We don't have any questions so far, but let me ask you some questions because I'm curious about it. It's a quite interesting platform. It's very easy to use, as I saw, on how to create those experiences. One of the things that we bear when you're trying to create a new experiences is where to get the models, the 3D models, the assets. Do you have any kind of recommendation on where to get them? Or
yeah, so a lot of the developers, first of all, as I mentioned, we have a collection of over 75,000 assets that you can use for free already built into the platform. But if you want to create your own, one tool that is really useful is something like Tinkercad. There's like a kind of 3D Photoshop that you can use, or there's a bunch of kind of free software. Even I think with latest Windows machines, there's like a 3D Paint that you can create 3D models. Another way to go about it is there's a lot of kind of scanning apps that you can kind of walk around a chair and generate a 3D model. Most iPhones have a LiDAR scanner today that basically, again, allows you to do that, just like walk around a chair and get a 3D model of it. So definitely check out the App Store and stuff like that for kind of content creation tools. And once you have those assets, you can upload them to Echo and automatically see them in AR or VR and stuff like that.
Nice. Another question from my side as well.
Yeah.
Well, I've been, and I'm curious because I've been helping teachers to talk more about VR and AR to some kids and some young kids. So one of the things that sometimes we miss is a tool that schools might have to work with their students and something like this. Do you have some kind of partnership with schools or educational companies or something like this to
so we work with universities a lot. We use a lot with universities. We sponsor a lot of hackathons and a lot of kind of basically developer focused events at universities, because we see how all these creators and all these kind of students are trying to build really cool applications, and we just really want to empower them to be able to do that. So that's why we also have like a free tier that any student can just register, play around with, and build applications easily. I think specifically in the educational domain, kind of remote work or kind of remote collaboration is such a powerful use case. So it totally makes sense that a lot of people in education will want to use kind of metaverse apps to kind of connect people together.
Yeah, and as much as we have more kids and young learners using this technology, more people will know about it, right? So
yeah, 100%.
We will have more use cases of AR and VR with that. So regarding the use cases, I saw that you mentioned about having a lot of examples over there. You have examples and tutorials on how to build that, right?
Yep, exactly. So free tutorial, open source tutorials that you can use right now to build applications, again, that you leverage all these different technologies for many, many use cases. And I really encourage people to go to the inspiration page just to kind of, again, explore and kind of think about like how we can inject metaverse applications and metaverse content into our industry, if it's education, if it's e-commerce, if it's training, anything.
One last question, I promise. As soon as we build the experience, the person who is going to watch them, do they need to install the app as well or something like this, or it's all web-based?
Yeah, so a lot of things that we do are web-based, that you don't have to install anything. If you do want to have an app, fully fledged app, you can do that too, and then they have to install it. It really depends on you and how you want to design the experience and the user experience there. But with us, you just store and stream those assets to that experience, regardless if it's on web, mobile, or anything. And you can actually even port content between. So like, let's say you start your application on web, and then tomorrow you want to create an app. You can do that. The content is yours, and all the assets are kind of in the cloud, so you can kind of move them really easily.
So okay, no more questions, I promise.
No, this is great.
Yeah, so thank you very much again. I want let me know if do you have any final regards, any final thoughts?
No, just appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all. Just make sure to register on our website, www.echo3d.co. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and start building. This is definitely the time to build 3D applications at scale.
Okay, that's it. You have to start. Just try it. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye bye.